First off, I want to apologise for any weird noises that might happen in the video. We're having a thunderstorm outside and it's like nature is not listening to me go, shut up, I'm trying to make a video. Nature just doesn't know the YouTube life. So anyway, this week's been a bit of a wild ride for me. 2 weeks ago I was put off work due to basically pretty debilitating anxiety and depression, and I've kind of been trying to figure out how I'm meant to pay my rent and my bills without any income from work, so that's been really stressful. I've also been talking to my course providers trying to postpone my study until I am ready, and also trying to organise at the same time placement to go back to so that I can continue my studies when I'm ready. And in the middle of all this kind of chaos and trying to heal, Facebook came up with a very timely reminder for me. You know that memories function that pops up on your app every morning? Says, you have memories with someone you haven't spoken to in 5 years from 10 years ago. I wasn't on Facebook 10 years ago, I was like 12. I should have been on Facebook, maybe I would have had more friends. But yeah, it came up with the reminder, it came up with this memory or reminder or thing I put into my Facebook 5 years ago. My Facebook memory was that it had been 5 years to the day since I made the decision to drop out of high school. And this really got me thinking. In Australia, it's estimated that 25% of our Year 12s drop out before completing high school. And I would really like to ask them why. I get this feeling that I'd probably get a lot of talk about anxiety and depression, and maybe even a couple of recounts of symptoms of chronic diseases and invisible illnesses that hadn't been diagnosed yet. Year 12 for us, everyone's about 18, 19 years old, and considering that it takes on average 8 years for endometriosis to be diagnosed, for example, that's really at the beginning stages of disease for a lot of people. I know the stigma that surrounds dropping out of high school. I know there's also a stigma around being a quitter. And I'm here to tell you it's okay. I'm a quitter. I am a proud quitter. I'm an independent young quitter who don't need no obligations. I dropped out of high school twice. I dropped out of TAFE twice. I dropped out of uni when I got sick. I quit uni to start studying vet nursing, which I do online over the internet and using work placement, which I haven't started yet. Even more so than high school, I think uni, for me at least, had a lot more deadlines. It is incredibly difficult to meet deadlines when you have an unpredictable illness. I picture myself as a video game character in Fable. I've been playing a lot of Fable since I've been at home. I picture myself walking up to those university steps with my assignment in my hand, and then out of a nearby tree drops a villain and his gang, and they've come to attack me, only that villain is chronic illness. And I have to put down my assignment and fight them off, or run away, no, probably fight them off. And I can't pick my assignment back up and take it to the teacher's desk before I've fought off these chronic illness creature enemy things. Since it takes a while to fight chronic illness off and to heal from a flare-up or what have you, by the time I get it to the lecturer's desk, it's overdue, and I lose points, I lose grades, whatever it's being marked on. I've lost them because I had to stop to fight something that nobody else in my class had to fight. I lost my grade even though I was running on time until something I couldn't control dropped out and attacked me. Now, back in the day, a lot of people told me to ask for extensions for my assignments so I'd have time to get them done and incorporate my illness. The issue I had with this is that you can't get extensions for everything. I was newly sick at the time, I didn't have a formal diagnosis, I was going through that stage where they go, it's a urinary tract infection, it's pelvic inflammatory disease, you've pulled a muscle, etc, etc. And even if I had a diagnosis, I don't think it would have been that easy to actually get an extension at my university. This was mostly because I didn't have a support network set up there. I didn't set myself one up because I didn't really know how sick I was. I did ask for an extension once, and I remember the professor telling me that I should quit the job that I was doing part-time that was paying my bills and keeping me fed so that I could focus on my university work, because that's why he thought I was running late. Now, there are a ton of studies that show us that the effects of chronic disease have a huge impact on schoolwork, on uni work, on our social lives, on our actual employment. There's no question. There's no question about it whatsoever. We already know that it can cause us to have a lot of difficulty keeping up with work and keeping things running on time, keeping us meeting our goals and meeting our expectations and meeting our deadlines. We can also have issues that aren't as obvious. For example, I had problems attending lectures because I had interstitial cystitis, which means that I had to pee every 5 to 10 minutes. And getting out of a lecture hall where there's like 20 people on one side in seating and 20 people on the other in seating, and I had to take this one spare seat because in order to get a seat that I could sit in and easily go to the bathroom or easily leave, I'd have to get there like an hour earlier. And I couldn't do that because I had classes. And then the issue also arose that even if I had been sitting on the outskirts, people would have noticed me getting up every 5 minutes to go pee, and I also would have missed out on pretty much most of the lecture. I don't know if all of them do this, but I know a couple of our unis offer an online lecture where they record the lecture either with video or microphone, or either with video or audio, and put it up on the internet so that you don't actually have to attend the lecture to attend the lecture. But for as many unis that do that, there are unis that don't do that. And chronic illness can also lead us to feel a little demotivated, which kind of affects our self-esteem. This is really prominent when we see like our grades slipping or our performance reviews at work slipping. And like I said, thoughts like, it's not worth it, begin churning up pretty strongly. But like I said in my video about acceptance, this is this moment and the next moment can be different. With chronic illnesses and chronic disease, we do have to put extra work into adapting our circumstances around us and our illness. And if we're at school, we often have to continue on to do that in the workplace and later on in life as well. But the important thing is that it can be done. It can be done. And then the flip side to that, some things just aren't for us. High school wasn't for me, and I probably wouldn't have survived if I'd kept going there. I took a STAT test, and that's basically our equivalent to a uni entry test, which meant that all of Year 12 was completely irrelevant. If I passed this test, I could get into whatever uni course. I could get into the uni course that I wanted, and it didn't matter that I hadn't attended Year 12. When uni didn't end up working for me, I decided that studying the course I wanted online at home was going to work better, and it does, it really does. It is a bit lonely, I'm not going to lie, it leads to me feeling a bit isolated, but I wasn't making a lot of friends in uni because I was in too much pain anyway to really socialise and go to parties and stuff. I don't have any set days or any set times to be anywhere. I don't have any deadlines. I can work when I feel well and I can not work when I don't feel well. Because I don't have any deadlines, my study's not affected by these evil tree-dropping chronic illness creatures. There's lightning out the window. If my power goes off, I'm gonna laugh. I'll be filming in the dark and editing on nothing. I'll just have to chip it into like a stone tablet and then mail it to you, instead of putting it on YouTube, and it will just be pictures of my face and you won't know what I'm saying. Anyway, I think the beauty of this channel is its flexibility. Kind of doing a segue here, kind of doing an announcement. Previously, Victoria and I aimed to upload something every Thursday, but this really wasn't working for us. We'd find that when we got to Thursday, or just before Thursday, one of us, whoever turn it was, they weren't feeling well. And the Thursday deadline came and went, and then we started to feel, well, at least I started to feel anxious that the video wasn't up on time, that I was letting people down, and all these negative thoughts started churning in my head. So Victoria and I had a conversation on Skype where we decided that it would be probably better for us, as well as the quality of our content, for our channel, for everything, if we changed this deadline to be a bit more flexible. It's still a deadline. I've gone over it this week. I've already broken the deadline, but nothing terrible happened, except maybe that's why this storm is happening. And we've decided that every weekend we will upload a video instead of every Thursday. This means that we have the whole weekend to recuperate our spoons and work on stuff and make sure it gets done in time. Like I've been talking about, we adapted, we recognised the problem, we adapted, we changed the plan, and we made it work for us. This is also a really doable thing at school and at work and uni and wherever you happen to be. It's pretty doable. I think you just need a couple of people on side to help you make the little changes that you might need to make. I really recommend talking to your doctor about this because they can help you articulate how you feel and what your symptoms are to other people, but they can also write you a care plan. Care plans are what to do when. So for example, I have a care plan for asthma that says if I have an asthma attack, I take my reliever. If that doesn't work, I take my prednisolone. If that doesn't work, I need to go to the hospital. That's my care plan. So I've given this care plan to my employers. If I was at school, I'd give it to the school. If I was at uni, I'd give it to the uni. What it means is that if an emergency happens, people around me know what to do to help me. They know if they have to call an ambulance. They know what I should be taking, what medication I should have on me at all times. At first I wasn't really comfortable giving this information to people, but honestly, it's for my safety and I control the information I give people. If I don't feel comfortable giving the information and I don't think that it's necessary to be a life-saving thing for me, the information's mine to keep and it's not theirs to know. You can share it with whoever you want to, basically. There's no limit on sharing. Sharing is caring. Be honest about how you're feeling. You don't have to be brave. You don't have to be ashamed to talk about it. If you want to cry, you cry. It doesn't matter. You don't have to act brave. Know that you can get through anything. You've already gone so far. You can get through anything. We are warriors. We can just get through it all. We have to do it our way. We have to make a few changes to do it the way that suits us. Seek as much support as you can. Rally your troops. Get your support network behind you. Build a support network. Let people know what's going on so they can join your support network. Talk to your boss about how you feel. Make sure there are people that you can go to if you do have an emergency. And if all else fails, quit. You don't have to stay. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Quitting isn't weak. It is being strong enough to know what is best for you. Quitting is also shutting the window when it starts raining very hard. I'm getting scared of this storm. Don't forget that our upload schedule has changed from Thursdays to the weekends. And don't forget how awesome you are and how much we love you guys. I'm really excited. We've got 151 likes on the Facebook page and 50 subs on YouTube now. Make sure you have subscribed if you haven't already done it. Make sure you've liked our Facebook page if you haven't already liked it. And give us a thumbs up because you know you loved our videos. Anyway, have a great week. Bye guys.